boldest when we reject the status quo. Brightest when we overcome stereotypes. It seldom comes easy, but we are always striving. By seeking novel solutions and choosing action over delay, we will travel new paths, explore new mindsets, shatter expectations. Because our mission is clear. Pursue success fearlessly. Innovate always. From now on, discover greatness.
Friends, guests, students, and alumni of Miami University, welcome to the Farmer School of Business Class of 2021 Recognition Ceremony. Please stand, if able, to honor the undergraduate degree students. now present our Class of 2021 Master Degree students. The distinguished faculty of the Farmer School of Business. Ladies and gentlemen, presiding over our ceremony, Dr. Jenny Derrick, Dean of the Farmer School of Business, joined by the 22nd President of Miami University, Gregory Crawford, University Ambassador Renata Crawford, and members of our platform party. Please remain standing and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem, performed by Miami University's Men's Glee Club, led by Dr. Jeremy Jones.
Please be seated. Thank you so very much. Good evening. My name is Jenny Derrick, and it's an absolute privilege to serve as the Dean of the Farmer School of Business and the Mitchell P. Rails Chair of Business Leadership. Today, it's my pleasure to welcome you to our 2021 in-person Farmer School of Business Divisional Recognition Ceremony. And now it is my honor to introduce Miami University President Gregory Crawford to address our attendees.
Well, greetings and congratulations, class of 2021. And on behalf of the faculty, staff, administration, and the entire Miami community, welcome to Miami University's 182nd commencement exercises. Thank you for joining us on this very special day, a day that culminates a truly remarkable year. And it's great to be with everyone live and in person tonight. Now this is the second half of the farmer class, and they weren't very loud at noon, and so why don't we see if we can't get these graduates, if you're able, to stand and give you all a big round of applause to get the energy going here. As I was working the crowd earlier, somebody's papa out there told me not to mess up my words on my speech, so I'm going to try my best here. I lost all my confidence. Let us begin the ceremony today with recognizing the original stewards of this land, the Miamia and the Shawnee people. You will find in your program our land acknowledgement. Please read it and reflect upon it. And for our graduates today, the ink pen that you received in today's package, it has the Miamia Heritage logo on it. It's a symbol and reminder of the partnership of mutual respect and learning between the Miami Tribe of Oklahoma and Miami University. And today, it is our great pleasure to celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2021. You have experienced college in a way that no class before has known, and likely no class will experience again in the future. You were here last year for the abrupt transition to remote learning with all of its chaos and novelty. And despite that uncertainty, you have been patient, flexible, and triumphant during this unprecedented time. Your unwavering courage kept you on the path that led to this moment tonight. We admire your perseverance and fortitude. What you experienced has built strength and characteristics that will carry you through the rest of your life. You have been challenged in ways that you could not have imagined even a few years ago. And this unique dimension of your education has empowered you to lead in the post-COVID world. You now know the ability to excel in several areas that will impact your community and world. And I wish to make a few quick points tonight on technology, community, and change. So you are now all experts in managing change and living with ambiguity. You have learned the importance of character and have gained the intellect to navigate the unknown. And you know, when data is insufficient, the quality of decisions depends on staying true to your values and mission. Change will continue to accelerate in the world, and you are all prepared for it. And leveraging technology will now be your superpower. The pandemic increased the use of technology, including remote learning and Zoom meetings, in ways that will alter education and business forever. You have witnessed the full spectrum of this transformation, and you will live, work, and thrive in a diverse world of Industry 4.0, where the convergence of human and technological elements will continue to increase. And because of your education here at Miami, you are equipped to ensure that progress is ethical, humane, ethical, and just. And building an inclusive community is the capstone of the Miami University degree. The pandemic made it clear the reality that the health of each of us depends on the health of all of us. It amplified what you already know, that we are all interconnected. And you'll leave here with the skills to be compassionate, creative, and courageous leaders, passionate allies and advocates who spark change and build inclusivity in our communities. And the past year has been extraordinarily challenging for everyone, but it was that Miami spirit, our sense of unity, our experience of camaraderie that held us together. We found that unity and strength as one Miami in one of the most challenging times in our history. With that unity, we overcame, and with that unity, we found power and camaraderie in our differences, and with that unity, we will all flourish in the future. As our newest alumni, you are now part of a thriving, global, and diverse network of Miamians who support each other and collectively celebrate our successes from all around the world. As you embark on the next chapter of your life, remember the values that you learned and practiced here at Miami, and be confident that your Miami family will always be here to uplift you. Congratulations, class of 2021, on this monumental achievement. You are all and always will be Miami. Congratulations and love and honor. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our university ambassador, Dr. Renata Crawford, a physics professor and constant positive presence in the lives of our Miami students. Renata is a true ambassador for Miami and values what we hold near and dear to our hearts of love and honor. Ladies and gentlemen, Renata Crawford.
Thank you, Greg, and I want to begin by congratulating all of you. It is amazing to see you all here, and you know what? You are closing out one phenomenal commencement weekend, you guys. So today is such a special day to celebrate your accomplishments with your family and friends, and as Greg was alluding to, he and I both had a chance to meet with some of your family members and your friends before you came down here to sit at your seats, and they are just beaming with pride. So if you wouldn't mind, and if you were able to stand up and give them a good wave and a shout, you saw what they did for you, give back that love, would you? It is their day too. I definitely know that, speaking as a mom. So Greg and I have so enjoyed being just a small part of your Miami journey, and it's been our absolute honor to have you as part of our Miami family for the last few years. We have seen you volunteering in the community and being just amazing Miami ambassadors. We've seen you excel in the classroom, starting directly from your business core, right there in the beginning. You've been so incredibly engaged on campus. Maybe it was through Creativity City or your entrepreneurship or startup activities, or in many other ways that you have been incredibly engaged and you have left your mark. We've also seen you work out with us in our backyard, and we're gonna miss that. You have accomplished so much while at Miami, and we are certain that you will blaze new trails in the years to come. Our speaker today, Dr. Carolyn Jefferson-Jenkins, has blazed such trails. Dr. Jefferson-Jenkins is a 1974 Western College for Women graduate who began her career as a public school teacher and administrator. While teaching was her vocation, her calling was community-based activism. In 1988, she was elected as the 15th national president of the League of Women Voters, serving 2 terms and also chairing the League of Women Voters Education Fund. Under her leadership, the League helped pass the Bipartisan Campaign Reform Act, which closed the most significant loopholes in campaign finance regulation at the time. She also led a charge to focus on local elections while increasing the number of voters who participated in all elections. With the League of Women Voters, Jefferson-Jenkins was instrumental in Get Out the Vote campaign and later the Wired for Democracy project. In recognition of her dedicated efforts to advance justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion, Dr. Jefferson-Jenkins was awarded Miami's Freedom Summer of '64 Award. The award is named to honor, remember, and recognize the site at Western College for Women, now part of Miami's campus, where hundreds of young Americans trained in 1964 to register Black voters in the South. It is now my pleasure and honor to call your attention to the video display for remarks by Dr. Carolyn Jefferson-Jenkins.
President Crawford, members of the Board of Trustees, members of the faculty and staff, my fellow honoraries, and most especially to the graduates, thank you very much for such a warm welcome. It is a great honor for me to have been selected to give the commencement address during this long-awaited commencement weekend. I'm delighted to be able to speak to such an impressive group of graduates in this new normal, though I miss the excitement of being there in person. Well, you made it. This is your moment, but not yours alone. You share it with the family, friends, supporters, and even haters that motivated you to get to this point. Today is a day filled with the history of this moment of achievement, when you get the recognition that you earned. Pat yourselves on the back. This is one of many memorable moments you will have in life. When you look back in 50 years as I am doing today, you will reflect on the love of family and friends, of Miami University encircling you and cheering you on. You will find reassurance in the legacy to love, honor, learn. I carry on the legacy of Western College for Women and now Miami University. I am forever tied to Oxford, Ohio, committed to following my passion and sense of purpose as I persevere to make this world a better place. I'm honored that the leadership at Miami thought that my career of public service, rooted in my experiences here, could serve to inspire you as you undertake this next phase of your life's journey. My message is supposed to be inspirational, but I want to make it aspirational as well. I asked myself what advice I could give that will have any influence on you at all. When I sat where you sit today, I was in the midst of the greatest social revolution this nation has ever witnessed. The 1960s and 70s was a time of political and social change unprecedented in its impact on society, until today. The events that influenced my life, Sputnik, a man walking on the moon, the transistor radio and color television, women working outside the home and in roles other than secretary, teacher, nurse, or librarian, brought about many unforeseen possibilities. It was just a few years after the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which brought to the fore a need for a national reckoning with racial injustice, which still exists. In all honesty, I don't remember what the commencement speaker said, and many of you won't either. But just for the next few minutes, I want you to put aside the excitement, the anxiety, and open your heads and hearts to what I am about to say. And if you don't remember it, you can always Google it later, an opportunity that I didn't have, and relive the moment. I hope that you will. When the Jefferson family station wagon with the rear seat facing backwards rounded the corner on Route 27 for the first time in 1970 and entered the gates of Western College for Women, an entrance which no longer exists, my excited anticipation turned to angst. While I was aware of what was occurring in the world, it seemed somewhat removed from my day-to-day existence. But my 17-year-old world was about to change forever. I had no idea how big my world was about to become. As the first person in my family to attend college, I didn't know what to expect. I had a firm belief that education was the great social equalizer, as did my parents. Despite the fact that my mother had a 4th grade education and my father an 8th grade education, they knew they wanted better for their children. College was a dream, one that was about to become a reality. So I entered this strange world with people from lives far different from mine, lives I'd never been exposed to. What a difference. What a responsibility. What an opportunity. My most cherished memories in Oxford were when we gathered to be inspired, to create anarchy, to be challenged and engage in civil disobedience. Yes, all right here on the Miami campus. And 4 years later, when the Jefferson station wagon turned onto Route 27 for the final time in May of 1974, my 21-year-old world had been expanded. A tremendous journey was about to begin. You are embarking upon a similar journey today. As you prepare for this moment, I am sure you have heard many cliches. You've been told that you are the creators of a new normal. You have been told that a degree is a badge of honor. You've been told that you are entering the adult world at a time of unparalleled uncertainty. You've been told that the creativity of this class will shine. You are now being told that the world needs you, and it does. If you remember nothing else, remember this. You were made for a moment like this. Sometimes you will find the moment, and sometimes the moment will find you. But in either instance, you are eminently prepared. The Miami experience has empowered you to seek your passion and purpose. It has instilled in you a sense of global responsibility. It has allowed you to succeed and to fail, to deal with the challenges of a global pandemic, remote learning, virtual events, a reckoning with social and racial injustice. This commencement is a testament to the fact that despite any adversity, you have risen to the occasion with purpose and intention. You will always remember this celebration and reflect upon it at different moments in your life when the uncertainty in the world causes you to question everything around you, every success, every perceived failure, every high, every low. I challenge you, I dare you to continue to use your unique talents in the places where you will show up, in the streets, in the boardrooms, in the halls of justice, in the legislature, in the neighborhoods, in the schools, in your actions, in your head, in your heart. I want to leave you with an excerpt from Robert F. Kennedy's Day of Affirmation speech to the National Union of South African Students at the University of Cape Town, South Africa on June 6, 1966, on what the university called a Day of Reaffirmation of Academic and Human Freedom. I selected this quote because of its relevance today. It is often referred to as a ripple of hope. And Kennedy said, "Few will have the greatness to bend history, but each of us can work to change a small portion of the events. And in the total of all these acts will be written the history of this generation. Each time a man, the pronoun of the times, stands up for an ideal, or acts to improve the lot of others, or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope, and crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring, those ripples build a current which can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance." This is your day of reaffirmation. You are the new keepers of our great American dream. Every time you remember the legacy and lessons of Miami University to love, honor, learn, and commit to carry them with you as you take the next step in your journey. Every time you ignite your inner activist, every time you expose social and racial injustice and go about the business of eradicating it, every time that you overcome adversity as you have done this past year, every time you make an intentional decision to make this world a better place, every time you make courage more contagious than fear, every time you seize the moment when life gives you an opportunity, every time you relive the Miami experience, you reaffirm that you are made for a moment like this. By accepting the degree that you received today, you acknowledge that this is what you are called to do, to expand the ripple of hope. To the class of 2021, congratulations. I leave the fate of the world in your hands, and I am confident that it will be better because of you. Go forth and do great things. Thank you.
We are so very grateful to Dr. Carolyn Jefferson-Jenkins for providing these inspiring remarks. And thank you, President Crawford and Dr. Crawford, for helping open today's ceremony. Now we're just going to take a slight pause as President and Dr. Crawford leave. They have one more event to attend before the weekend finishes. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. I would now like to introduce members of the platform party. Please hold your applause until I have introduced everyone who is here with me on the stage. Platform party, please stand as I call your name and remain standing. In the second row, I have Michelle Thomas, Director of Student Organizations and Diversity. Steve Elliott, Acting Chair of the Economics Department. Mike McCarthy, Chair of the Marketing Department. And Joel Harper, Chair of the Finance Department. Skip Benamati, Chair of the Information Systems and Analytics Department, Tim Holcomb, Chair of the Entrepreneurship Department. And in the front row, I've got Brian Aschenbaum, Associate Dean for Curriculum and Graduate Programs and Professor of Management, Chanel White, Assistant Dean and Director of Divisional Advising, Claire Galberg, Class of 2021 Student Speaker, Tim Greenlee, Senior Associate Dean and Professor of Marketing, Melissa Thomason, Acting Associate Dean and Professor of Economics, Rebecca Kiesling, Assistant Dean for Administration, and Brian Ballou, Professor of Accountancy. So please join me in recognising the members of the Platform Party and thanking all of the faculty members in attendance today. Thank you. Please be seated. I'd also like to recognise some very important people who are here with us today. Any university is only as good as its faculty, and at the Farmers School we are very lucky to have some of the best faculty in business education in the world. At this time, I would like our faculty to stand and be recognised. Please stand. And graduates, do let's give them a hand for all they've done to get you to this point here at Miami. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. It's hard to believe that we're here together at graduation to conclude what will go down in history as one of the most challenging years most of us have faced in our lifetime. To be honest, though, I have to confess that graduation is my favorite time of the year. It's simply because it reminds me of why I do the job I do. It's truly an important time in our calendars, and the fact that we can recognize our graduates in person this year makes it all the more special. Friends and family, I am so pleased that you are here with us and able to be here to celebrate this important milestone in our students' lives. Did you know that there are more than 45,000 Farmer School alumni celebrating with you? And like you, like our faculty, our staff, they're all invested in your success. And before I go on, hands up in the stands if you are a Farmer School alumni. Great. Early last year, pre-COVID, when I was asked to visit the Farmer School as a finalist for the position of Dean, I already knew the hard facts about the school. I knew that we were top 3 in the country for study abroad. I knew that we were top 3 in the country for the number of internships our students have. We're top 3 for landing a job in the company you wanted. We're also top 10 for return on investment and for student experience. The accolades are endless, and I'm sure you've noticed that we've listed some of them, not all of them, on the back of your program. So do please enjoy and soak in the successes that we have. During my campus visit last year, I had the pleasure of meeting small groups of faculty, students, and staff face to face. Of course, I fell in love with the campus. It's absolutely beautiful. But what convinced me the most to leave my dean's position in Claremont, California, was you, the students. From the moment I entered the building, I felt the energy, the passion, the joy, time after time. I was told that Farmer School students were different in a very special way. But hearing is very different from experiencing it. It seems like not a day has gone by that I didn't hear about you, winning nationwide competitions against top schools in the country, countless photos of you holding trophies, oversized checks, working in student organizations, presenting research papers with your professors at professional conferences, interning with a Fortune 500 company, hosting a worldwide celebration of creativity, and in all the photos, what I did see were faces of tomorrow's leaders relishing in the many opportunities we offer for you to learn and grow while you're at the Farmer School. But for me, I felt as though I've been watching a never-ending episode of The Masked Singers, because every time I passed you in the corridors of the building, I wondered which incredible student was behind the mask. The challenge of mask wearing aside, I'd like to pause for a minute and ask you to participate. So raise your hand if you were part of an organizational club. Do raise your hand if you belong to an organizational club. So about 2/3 of our students do, and it's an impressive statistic. Raise your hand if you ever participated in a competition while you were at the Farmer School. I'm sure most of you would have. Raise your hand if you volunteered with a non-profit organization. Again, many of you have. If you had an internship, now surely all hands will go up for this, and keep your hand up if you had more than one internship. And did you know that more than half of our students have more than one internship before they graduate? Raise your hand if you completed a study abroad or a study away. And raise your hand if you added a minor, a certificate, or a second major. Wow, just wow. I mean, look at all the hands that went up. You're nothing short of amazing. What I love about the Farmer School are the many opportunities our students have to participate in co-curricular activities and experiential learning projects. This is why we say that our students are beyond ready to add value to any organization from day one, because not only have you mastered skills specific to your major, but also you have demonstrated that you're resilient, you are compassionate, you rise to any challenge, you pivot seamlessly and multitask effortlessly, you have common sense and a sense of humor, and now you are farmer graduates. You've already accomplished so much, and yet there is so much more you will achieve. And your Farmer School family of professors, staff, and alumni will be cheering you on and ready to support you every step of the way. Next semester will bring a new group of students to follow in your footsteps and build on what you have created. But you're my first, and therefore you will always hold a very special place in my heart. And you'll be a hard act to follow. So thank you for making my first year so memorable and for making the Farmer School a better place. Love, honor, and congratulations. Thank you. Every year at this time of the program, we honor faculty members whose accomplishments surpass even our own high standards. We provide recognition in 3 categories: research, teaching, and service. And I'd now like to introduce the 2021 awardees who are here at this ceremony. Miami University and the Farmer School of Business are nationally recognized for our excellence in the classroom, and each year we honor stellar examples of teaching innovation with the Richard K. Smucker Award. Would John Paizoa please join me up on the stage? Come on up, John. Dr. Jonathan Paizoa is the PricewaterhouseCoopers Endowed Assistant Professor in Accountancy, and he's this year's recipient of the Richard K. Smucker Teaching Excellence Award as the Outstanding Junior Professor. John earned his PhD at Virginia Tech. He's a Miami University alum, having earned a bachelor's and a master's degree in accountancy from the Farmer School, no less. John describes his teaching philosophy as being based on the goals of fostering learning by innovating his courses to match the evolving and dynamic accounting field, motivating active interaction in the classroom, and inspiring students to think critically on their way to successfully becoming professional accountants. He encourages students to not just memorize, but to logically combine and analyze foundational accounting and ethical concepts within more complex and subjective scenarios via case studies. John received the Miami University Student Recognition of Teaching Award in 2020, so please join me again in recognizing John's many accomplishments. Our second and final award for this evening's ceremony is the Farmer School Faculty Service Excellence Award. This award acknowledges faculty who demonstrate excellence in service to the Farmer School and overall contribution and impact towards supporting our mission. These types of activities include leadership and commitment to departmental, divisional, and university initiatives. Would Terry Barr please join me on stage? Dr. Terry Barr is Professor of Marketing, and she's the recipient of this year's Farmer School Faculty Award for Service Excellence. Terry earned her PhD from the University of Cincinnati, and throughout her career, Terry has been engaged in a variety of service roles, often leading difficult committees and processes. At the divisional and department level, she currently chairs the Undergraduate Studies Committee and has previously chaired the Teaching and Pedagogy Committee for the Farmer School. In addition, she has served on the Farmer School Governance and Gender Equity and Inclusion Committees. At the university level, Terry has been active for many years in the University Senate, serving as chair and member of the Executive Committee. Other university service includes the Steering Committee for the President's Strategic Planning Committee and being the Farmer School representative on the Academic Program Evaluation and Improvement Process, something we affectionately call APEP. Terry's dedication to service and improving the processes at the division and university levels have helped Miami and the Farmer School address difficult topics and issues, helping Miami to move forward. So please join me in recognizing Terry's many accomplishments. Thank you, Terry. The recipients of the remaining awards were recognized this afternoon at the 1:30 ceremony. So please join me in one more round of applause for our outstanding faculty award recipients. Thank you. And now to one of my favorite parts of the event. I'm going to the introduction of our student speaker. As a way of recognizing our outstanding students and highlighting the changes that Miami University and the Farmer School have made in our students' lives, we asked one of our Farmer School graduates, Claire Galberg, to address the graduating class. Claire is an information systems and analytics major with a minor in Spanish and human capital management and leadership, graduating with summa cum laude honors. She was part of the University Honors and Business Honors, a member of Beta Gamma Sigma, which is the National Honor Society, and was on the President's list or Dean's list every semester. Very impressed. During her time at Miami, Claire was an active member of Women in Business and the Women's Ultimate Frisbee team, serving as vice president of both. She spent time in Argentina, living with a host family who spoke no English, and this allowed her to excel in conversational Spanish. As an undergraduate, Claire worked with Dr. Jay Shan on a research project that analyzed COVID-19 pandemic and university action. Claire completed 3 internships during her undergraduate career, and she will return to West Monroe Partners, where she interned after her junior year as a mergers and acquisitions consultant in Chicago. Claire is the daughter of Steve and Beth Goldberg of Mainville, Ohio, and Claire would not be here without them. And in particular, she thanks her mum for her support, their support over the last 4 years. So please join me in welcoming Claire to the stage.
Thank you, Dean Derrick. I am so honored to be addressing my fellow Farmer School of Business graduates, their family, and our faculty today. I am so glad we are here, celebrating our graduation. We deserve it. It's been 4 years of hard work, of great times, and of trying times. The last year has been incredibly tough for a lot of us. Some of you may have struggled to adjust to online learning or face separation from families. You may have taken live classes at all hours of the night from different time zones. Whatever your situation, I think it's safe to say we deserve a little extra celebration today, just for being here. I am inspired by things at our school every day. The content of our classes, the guest speakers, the little stop and chats you only experience in the farmer school when a professor you had semesters earlier happens to get in line for a dividend salad at the same time as you. But I was particularly inspired a few weeks ago by an HBR article paired with an outstanding lecture given by Dr. Megan Gerhardt on the crucibles of leadership. It resonated with me, and I want to share it with you all now. A crucible is a transformative experience, something difficult and unplanned, maybe even traumatic. I think we can all agree that the last year fits most, if not all, of that description. After all, nobody really planned for a global pandemic. This metaphorical crucible comes from the original word, which refers to heating material to an extreme temperature by literally throwing it into the fire. The material in the crucible comes out either destroyed or fortified from the heat. So that's the metaphor here. When a crisis occurs, something stressful and unexpected, something transformative, one of two things is going to happen. it's going to melt us down, or it will transform who we are, and we come out the other side different and stronger. I learned that crucibles force us to align our actions and values, to question all our assumptions, and to clarify our purpose. College is already a transformative experience, but I think everything we've been going through the last year has been a crucible. And I ask all my fellow business graduates today, how has it strengthened you? What has it clarified for you? And how has it affected your values? Because we made it through the fire. We are all here, about to walk across this stage after having gone through a college experience much tougher than expected. What can you take away from it? Using myself as an example, I have realized what matters to me and what kind of person I want to be. No one has their life figured out yet. Whether you're sitting in the audience right now with a job offer or not, the future is not completely clear. It's certainly not clear to me. But I do know that I want to be three things in my life. And no, being a billionaire or an executive of a Fortune 500 is not on this list, though that would be nice. No, I want to be three things in my life, no matter where I am or who I am, no matter what position, from intern to CEO, I will always strive to be an advocate, a mentor, and a friend. That's what my 4 years at FSB, especially this last one, have shown me. And I know I could not have made it through my time at Miami without leaning on those three types of people in my life. Advocacy, supporting a cause on behalf of others. This is so important to us as business students, as graduates, and as human beings. Our entire college experience, beginning right before our admittance, has been an incredibly divisive time. Polarizing elections, racial injustices, protests, and a worldwide health crisis have brought to the surface a lot of unfairness and inequality. Advocacy is something to bring into the professional world. Do not hesitate to have open and honest conversations with your leaders about how they can do better. A lot of women in this audience, including myself, have signed jobs in male-dominated industries, and we could not do this without someone in our corners, without people advocating for our abilities, and without advocating for ourselves. I personally would like to thank Jan Taylor for advocating for me and all of her business honors students the last 4 years. Mentorship, receiving guidance. I can say, without a doubt, that this is our school's biggest strength. The faculty I have worked with at FSB have changed my life. The opportunities we are given here go above and beyond our classes. Not a week went by where I didn't see a competition, a case study, a research opportunity, or something else happening in the halls of Farmer. I believe that anyone can be a mentor at any stage in their life, and I encourage you all to think about who has been a mentor to you, either formal or informal, and how you can be one. What kind of guidance can you give? How do you want to influence those around you? I would like to thank Dr. Jay Sean and Dr. Andrea Holschult for being mentors to me. And then there are some times when you don't need mentoring, you don't need advice, you just need someone kind you can shoulder the storm with. You need a friend, someone you can be authentic with, and someone you can be generous with. This year has proven the need for generosity and authenticity over and over again. And the way I have seen people come together at Miami has been inspiring. To put this in a way we farmer kids can understand, it costs $0 to be kind, and the return on investment is priceless. Advocacy, mentorship, and friendship. I came out of the fire with these three things in mind. What about you? How have you changed? I hope your experiences have allowed you to see more clearly. Give it some thought as you walk today. Think about who you want to be, what matters to you, and how you are more resilient. What have you learned the last 4 years beyond how to read a financial statement, beyond how to manage a workforce, beyond how to run a marketing campaign, or anything else you've been tested on here? What have you learned? And most of all, how can you apply this learning authentically in your life and your career? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Claire. That was fantastic. You may have noticed a recurring theme today. All of our graduates are exceptional. But now I'd like to recognize some who've excelled above and beyond all expectations. To be eligible for Beta Gamma Sigma membership, the National Business Honor Society, students must be in the top 10% of their class. I invite the students who have been inducted into Beta Gamma Sigma to please stand and be recognized. Please be seated. The Farmer School of Business recognizes the most academically talented seniors in the graduating class with Student Achievement Awards. The number of students recognized represents a proportion of the graduates in each field of study. For the class of 2021, we have a total of 15 students who are awarded for their academic achievements. With those students who are at this ceremony, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Please be seated. Graduating today is a group of students who have completed all of the requirements for the Farmer School Honours program. They are intellectually curious, mutually supportive, and a truly remarkable group of future business and organisational leaders. Graduates of the Farmer School Business Honours program, please stand up and be recognised. Please be seated. Those graduating with a GPA of between 3.5 and 3.75 have earned cum laude honours. Cum laude graduates, would you please rise? Thank you. Please be seated. Students with GPAs between 3.75 and 3.9 are awarded the distinction of magna cum laude. Magna cum laude graduates, would you please stand and be recognised? Thank you. Thank you. Be seated. Those who have achieved a GPA greater than 3.9 have earned summa cum laude honours. So please, could this group stand and be recognised? Thank you. Please be seated. We also have a special group of students for whom one degree was simply not enough. They chose to pursue both their undergraduate and their graduate degrees at the same time. With those students graduating with concurrent bachelor's and master's degrees, please stand up and be recognised. Thank you. Please be seated. So thank you and congratulations to all of you for your outstanding efforts in the classroom and beyond. We're proud of each and every one of you. There are 1,037 farmer graduates today, and we know that you enthusiastically agree. As we call out each one of our graduates' names today, we want each student and their loved ones to have their special moment, smile, text, or tweet when your graduate's name is read, but please hold your applause until all of our graduates have been recognised. Deans Melissa Thomason and Chanel White, together with faculty members, not Brian, sorry, Jing Burke, Gerald Granderson and Jane Taylor will assist us in representing the diploma covers to the candidates. Will the marshals now please escort the Masters of Accountancy, Masters of Science and Business Analytics and undergraduate candidates to the stage for the presentation of the degrees. Thank you.
Jacob D. Newton. Connor Matthew McCullough. Charlie S. Link.
Olivia Jacqueline Benkiki.
Miranda Rose Pisa.
Lauren Marie Pagano.
Eric Donald Grosskopf.
Garrison Smith.
Samuel Patrick DeBiase.
Davis Mitchell Kurz.
Simon Henry Coughlin.
Samuel James Donahue.
Olivia Christine Rampersad.
Alex Ash.
Jessica Ann Mullendor.
Christopher Anthony Lamandola.
Mary Alexis Addington.
Alexander McKay.
Jacqueline Marie Gajan.
Gage Kempton Cutler.
Benjamin Daniel Montgomery.
John Hessler.
Matthew John Miller.
Andrew Robert Honcher.
Chandler Allen Stringer.
Ryan Patrick Jacobs.
Joshua Richard Umstadt.
Samuel Thomas Porovsik.
Chow T. Min Do.
Jonathan Armand Dowling.
John Daniel McDonald.
Megan Regina Ferguson.
Sophie Holly McDonald.
Abigail Ann Krebs.
Hannah Lynn Allman.
Noel M. Lemaire.
Zachary Kenneth Hahn.
Emily Ann Black.
Zachary Andrew Kahn.
Anne Josephine Carmine.
Trenton James Kramer.
Kelsey Samantha Handel.
Drew M. Friedlander.
Johnny Rosa.
Juliana Marie DeMarco.
Austin Clark.
Catherine Grace Payne.
Samuel G. Gilmore.
Sarah Elizabeth Smith.
Mason Core.
Hayden William Verdon.
Cassidy Jane Freeman.
Alyssa Maureen Skopik.
Sydney N. Bonthran.
Courtney Elizabeth Sokup.
Samantha Elizabeth Palumbo.
Mary Claire Reagan.
Lauren Elizabeth Gaffney.
Brooks Von Dalen.
Andrew Reed Hornback.
Charles Francis Sheridan.
John Patrick Powers.
Alexander Prescott Orr.
William David Spaeth.
Jessica Lynn Edwards.
Brian Ethan Barrick.
Caroline C. Tadonio.
Madison Lee Oliver.
Kelly Bernice Hogan.
Carissa M. Harris.
Janet Elizabeth Herman.
Casey Elaine Davis.
Corey Justin Eisenberger.
Erica Marie Brower.
Frances Cora Hillier.
Lindsay Louise Strickland.
Jacob W. Swires.
Lauren Catherine Balster.
Hayden W. Fogel.
Margaret Rose Drury.
Joshua Andrew John James Ferris.
Claire Constance Gallberg.
Yao Luo.
Sean Gallagher.
Andrew Michael Bubner.
Scotty Sohn.
John Francis Merritt.
Robert Louis Antonucci.
Peter Maximilian Fortunato.
Christine Nicole Hughes.
Andreas Xavier Van Dyke.
Haley Elizabeth McCormick.
Letian Shu.
Taylor Michelle McManus.
Sydney Marie Harris.
Brittany Lynn Foles.
Lee Elizabeth Eisenson.
Anna Grace Piscopo.
Claire Marie Lynn.
Meredith Marie Caswell.
Evan Michael Jones.
Sophie Rose Collins.
Brandon Thomas Pugh.
Meredith Elise Clark.
Fez Surani.
Gianna Floriana Tomolo.
Andrew Dean Devaney.
Gabe Thomas Tobin.
Christina Nicole Haiti.
John Talmadge Murphy.
Davis Wilson.
Brandon Sobel Bowers.
Faith Moreno.
Sarah Elizabeth Wingo.
Victoria Lynn Smith.
Quan Min Tron.
Jason F. Lance.
Benjamin Robert Grossheim.
Matthew David Fink.
Dylan Eugene Baker.
Akshara Kapoor.
William D. Ladd.
Snigdha Porwal.
Samuel Cooper.
Noah Saul Earhart.
Julia Ann McDermott.
Adam Daniel Wise.
Samantha Danielle Gazarla.
Peyton M. Krell.
Timothy William Hayno.
Jace William Robinson.
John William Naughton.
Tyler Joseph Mangotic.
Adam Ekman.
Ryan William Gartner.
Benjamin John Demlow.
John Anthony Adamich, Jr.
Stephen M. Lunt.
Elizabeth Ann Gorjup.
Blake Andrew Miero.
Kyle Roy McClure.
Pooja Anil Ramchandani.
Kara Ann Kroger.
Rashid Ladani.
Andrew Christopher Kazik.
Taylor Flannery Thiel.
Rebecca Sarah Pador.
Colleen Ann Murtaugh.
Alexander Robinson.
Luke James Schmiel.
Samuel Douglas Miller.
Catherine Ann Doswa.
Cade James McCormick.
Amy Hu.
Mary Frances Vanderkar.
Cole Perry Lombardi.
Jane Freestone Moore.
Carter Bryce Dunchie.
Alexandra Marie Jennings.
Vincent Andrew Venzio.
Claire Marie Doherty.
Jacob Slate Wilansky.
Matthew Morgan Enslin.
Karen Ann Steinbauer.
Hayden James McClary.
Aubrey Elizabeth Collins.
Lauren Marcelino.
Michael Cano Joseph Namorato.
Jason Connor Sullivan.
Sarah Elise Schmidt.
Connor Joseph McGrath.
Casey Bell Doran.
Mars Way.
Elizabeth Catherine Kowalski.
Hardaway Long.
Samantha Lou Smith.
Alec Samuel Polishuk.
Sydney Grace Stewart.
Jack Paul Francetic.
Haley Ann Voorhees.
Michael Charles Grotehouse.
Taylor Dia Reich.
Jaden Bobson Cook.
Ethan Paul Worley.
Kyle R. Kaler.
Samuel Robert Demler.
Gerardo Orellana.
Isaac Andrew Zeltwanger.
Benjamin Jackson Poe.
Jack Andrew White.
Megan Mackenzie Hess.
Dylan Lawrence Van Erden.
Alyssa Nicole Roars.
Adam P. Pfeiffer.
Madison Grace Chesson.
Anna Marie Sabatino.
Patrick Angelo Caruso.
Hannah Grace Valdez.
Tyler S. Brinker.
Charles Thomas Yu.
Briggs Elliott Palmer.
Tyler Matthew Powell.
Lewis Sherman Rains.
Eli Ross Kaufman.
Adam Bandola.
Kyle Harrison Novak.
Samuel Kevin Condon.
Graham Stuver Gillen.
Ryan Patrick Caulfield.
Matthew
Catherine
Trent Vorbroker.
Catherine Ann Poth.
Benjamin Grant Rinsma.
Shayna Ann Balsley.
Alexandra Elizabeth Davidson.
Carrie Tam.
Avery Marie Solomon.
Brenna Ann Johnson.
Emily Anastasia Embargus.
Anna Corinne Beakey.
Francesca Marie Rubino.
Broderick Michael Mast.
Alexis Grace Morris.
Andrew Parker Estes Huff.
Melita Mia Ron.
Cade Allen Apple.
Emma T. Abbott.
John Thomas Lipovich.
Riley Olivia Zappatelli.
Dean Peter Barkulis.
Christopher Robert Waters.
Jacob T. Kovic.
Joshua Antonio Prieto.
Matthew Edward Duffy.
Hannah Grace Sievert.
Evan Richard Steigerwald.
Emily Lynn Nestor.
Abigail Lee Shaker.
Emily Autumn Dye.
Hannah Kelsey Freer.
Sydney Elizabeth Moore.
Carly Marie Schweitzer.
Dylan Cashman Hampu.
Stephanie Jane Hamilton.
Noah Mark Beeger.
Elizabeth Ann Riley.
Lily Alexandra Null.
Ian Christian Chevlin.
Catherine Ann Vondenbrink.
Jack Anthony Lee.
Victoria Noel Green.
Benjamin Austin Brannick.
Shannon Marie Sullivan.
Victoria Grace Holvey.
Anna Jo Bergsland.
Alexandra Karen Stoller.
Morgan Alexandra McLaren.
Morgan Lee Pohl.
Madeline Rose McLaughlin.
Rachel Ann Schaefer.
Morgan Elizabeth Henry.
Sarah Murphy.
Jackson Mason Herman.
Mackenzie Ann Fowler.
Samuel Charles Thomas.
Lauren Mary Huffman.
Toby Harrison Maddox.
Patrick Avery Burke.
Alexandra Grace Joyner.
Claire Marie Brophy.
Alexis Ann Nugent.
Madison Ann Fowles.
Serena Lanham.
Jasmine Elise Adkins.
Lauren Nicole Brown.
Andrew Thomas Giesland.
Isabella Josephine Brown.
Tessa Rose Price.
Cameron Jackson Patton.
Elena Christine Horsford.
Elise Ann Walker.
Laura Elise Morris de Oliveira.
Sarah Rochelle Bruns.
Erica Marie Almore.
Nathaniel Lewis Robinson.
Mary Elizabeth Lakeberg.
Donovan McNeil White.
Jeevan Singh Soki.
Jordan Anthony Stevens.
Mitchell Anthony Houston.
Megan Paige Ussery.
Jenna Mackenzie Prost.
Lee Ann McCormick.
Grant Michael Johnson.
Jordan Brian Richards.
Kendall Noel Cree.
Shannon Paige Allen.
Megan Marie Morse.
Michaela Paris Heller.
Benjamin J. Lidikin.
Christina Marie Mercurio.
Michael Scott Ritchie.
Michael James Diggerow.
Alexander Charles Schmidt.
Sarah Marie Cordonier.
Alexander Charles Nicopolis.
Leah Christina Birdsall.
Samuel Lawrence Milner.
Marielle Major.
C.U.N. Wong.
Sydney Elizabeth Angel.
Wen Ting Shu.
Jordan Taylor Grant.
Hao Wen Gong.
Elizabeth Ann Krug.
John Michael Mortel.
Andrew Sheridan Rickard.
Dylan Santa Cruz.
Ian Ballard Stanbridge.
Sean Michael Hyde.
Leonardo Eugenio Araya.
Jacob Ryan Greenbaum.
Jessica Nicole Gallup.
Michael Anthony Lesha.
Dana Glenn McDowell.
Angelo Gilbert Pendolino.
Elizabeth Catherine Coughlin.
Nicholas Galbadon Ham.
McKinley Marie Dumb.
Carson P. Hillebrand.
Ethan Noah Farber.
Kaylee Rose Harris.
Jacob Michael Bell.
Christina Angeline Vitellis.
Shannon Riley Lind.
Catherine Devaney Wainwright Moyer.
Megan Christine Ryan.
Hannah Mary Silla.
Nicholas Brady Schroeb.
Ku Ren Wong.
Justin Thomas Fisher.
Catherine Aaron Pasterzik.
Mia Catherine Shimkowski.
Allie Nicole Koltoff.
Elizabeth Kathleen Phelps.
Liam Stein.
Alexandra Ruth Mundy.
Quentin Twino Mujundi Naju India Juoha. Sorry.
Hannah Ashley O'Rourke.
Diana Rose Ridgway.
Megan Elizabeth Barab-Canich.
Carmen Suzanne Perez.
Catherine Reynolds Challoner.
Margaret Elizabeth Nowakowski.
Grace Catherine Weaver.
Courtney Louise Dunning.
Lauren Elizabeth Bouncel.
Isabella Marie Lucarelli.
Kaylee Ann Cannon.
Evelyn Jane Schaefer.
Shannon Rose Donnelly.
Emily Claire Woodward.
Claire Elise Eugenio.
Elizabeth Morabito.
Grace Elizabeth Roby.
Jacob Edward Jannoto.
Lauren Elizabeth Hartwell.
Jack Ballinger.
Camila L. Jones.
Lars Berg.
Megan Therese Brady.
Mary Damko.
Emma Lee Burke.
Andrew Connor Hanna.
Elise Catherine Owen.
Connor Robert Morton.
Matthew Daniel Sheeran.
Margaret Ann Kavanaugh.
Stephanie Marie Gerlach.
Lillian Grace Thaler.
Caitlin Renee Hewlett.
Madeline Dorothea Perna.
Sydney Paige Ginley.
Madeline Louise Pompelli.
Anna Christina Sollenberger.
Gabrielle Ray Lyon.
Elizabeth Monroe Hanna.
Lauren Heather Hayes.
Deanna Marie Prochko.
Landon Allen Woodard.
Ellie Mansfield Lyon.
Brett K. Buzash.
Madeline Kaylee Simmons.
Will Joseph Bosworth.
Layla Summer Bouchier.
Sarek Vasani.
Mackenzie Catherine Eason.
Sana Sakib.
Morgan Ray Blaylock.
Xin Kwang.
Madison Nicole Taylor.
Yu Fan Shang.
Kennedy Elise Sultan.
Mark Lucas Nedzwicki.
Julie Elizabeth Eagle.
Samuel Clary Christie.
Catherine Marie Brooks.
Maximilian David Pyle.
Alexandra Lane Kessler.
Lauren Nicole Waldrop.
Madeline Sue Zinzer.
Abigail E. Lokai.
Letitia Page Buckingham.
Anastasia McDaniel.
Jenna Pabodi.
Erica Mary Nolan.
Maggie Boner.
Sierra Marie Schrod.
Mallory Kate Jewson.
Catherine Wynn.
Molly McNamara.
Sarah Nicole Wigden.
Thomas Albin Widener.
Annie Mullane Maloney.
Ethel McGinnis Showalter.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Will all of our graduates please rise and if able, remain standing. By virtue of the authority vested in Miami University by the state of Ohio, and with the approval of the faculty, the president, and the board of trustees of Miami University, I hereby confer the associate, bachelor's, or master's degree upon those who have successfully completed the requirements. Graduates, you're allowed to now move the tassel from the right to the left and present yourselves with pride and enthusiasm to our audience. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you Miami University's newest alumni, the Farmer School of Business graduates of 2021. We'll be concluding our ceremony in just a few minutes after the singing of Miami Alma Mater. To do this quickly and smoothly as possible, students, please remain in your seats until we have completed the platform party and faculty recessionals. Marshals will dismiss you row by row to exit the field. Now, if you're not already standing, please do rise and join us as the Miami University's Men's Glee Club leads us in the Alma Mater. Thank you.